All right, let's dive into the high-stakes world of private equity. This is where fortunes get made, where the next big thing gets its funding. We're talking about a world with just massive amounts of capital. But, and this is the crazy part, it's also a world that's surprisingly inefficient.
First, let's just try to wrap our heads around the scale here. By 2025, the total amount of money managed in private markets is expected to hit over $15 trillion. Yeah, that's trillion with a T. To put that into perspective, that's more than the entire yearly economic output of most countries on the planet.
And this really gives you a sense of it, right? It's like this giant wallet just overflowing with cash, all of it waiting to be put to work. This is the capital that should be funding the next huge breakthrough in tech or the next company that changes how we live.
But here's the big question, the paradox that's at the heart of what we're talking about today. With all of that money sloshing around, why is it still so incredibly hard to connect a great idea with the right capital? It's a massive disconnect, and it makes no sense.
And that brings us right to the core of the problem. You see, the whole system for fundraising and investing, it's less like a superhighway and a lot more like some tangled, frustrating game of chance.
I mean, think about it. For founders who are desperately trying to get funding and for investors who are hunting for that next unicorn, the platforms that exist today are often just an exercise in pure frustration. It's just endless searching, you're constantly hitting dead ends, and you almost never find those truly meaningful connections.
Trying to navigate this whole landscape is like being dropped into a maze without a map. And this complexity, it doesn't just waste time. The real tragedy is that incredible opportunities are completely missed, all because the right people just never managed to find each other in the first place.
So let's break down these core problems. In the old way, your success is pretty much capped by who you know, your personal network. That means countless opportunities are just missed. There's a fundamental lack of trust, right? And then you pile on the information gaps, worries about who's legit, and of course the sky-high fees. The whole thing is just massively inefficient.
And all this inefficiency, it creates a really weird situation in the market. You see, capital tends to flow to the same handful of huge kingmaker funds, almost on autopilot. And this is despite the fact that data often shows that smaller and up-and-coming managers actually deliver better returns. The money isn't always following the best performance, it's just following the biggest name.
Okay, so if the old system is totally broken, what's the fix? Well, the answer, more and more, is technology. And specifically, it's an AI-powered matchmaker that's designed to cut right through all that noise.
And the difference is just night and day. Instead of being stuck with your limited network, you get AI-powered discovery that scans the entire market for you. Instead of those sketchy high fees, you get transparent economics. Slow, manual work, that gets replaced with speed and scale. And maybe most important of all, that lack of trust is replaced by a system built on verified, authenticated connections. And this is what that vision actually looks like in action. The AI isn't just a fancy search engine, it's a true intelligence layer that builds what the industry calls warm paths. It's all about creating trusted, relevant, and verified introductions between the perfect founders, partners, and investors.
So how does this actually work? Well, the tick behind it is called intelligent pairing. And it's not just matching a few keywords. The AI algorithms look at deep compatibility. Things like investment thesis, sector focus, what stage they're at, geography, even past deals, to make sure the connections it suggests are incredibly relevant for everyone.
Now, this whole technological shift is having a massive impact, and it's all built on a really simple premise for today's world. In private markets, data is the new alpha. And alpha, that's just the industry term for your competitive edge, the thing that leads to those huge returns.
So what that really means is that your advantage doesn't just come from who you know anymore. It comes from the quality of your data and how smart your AI is at analyzing it. This is fundamentally changing the entire game, from how deals are first discovered to how they're finally evaluated.
And the timing for this shift could not be more perfect. Right now, investors are sitting on a staggering $2.6 trillion of what's called dry powder. That's capital that's already been raised but hasn't been invested yet. So there's this immense pressure to find the right opportunities and fast.
The scale of these new platforms is already huge. We're talking about networks with over 350,000 verified firms. That includes the big money LPs, the private equity investors, and of course, the vetted startups that are ready for funding, all in one place, ready for that strategic matchmaking.
And just look at the data they're working with. By tracking over 1 million deals, these platforms are building an absolutely massive data advantage. And every single new data point, every interaction, makes the matching AI smarter and more precise. It creates this incredibly powerful feedback loop.
So why is this model so powerful? Why does it win? Well, it's this perfect, virtuous cycle. First, you get the network effect. The more people that join, the more valuable the network becomes for everyone. That, in turn, creates a huge data advantage because every single interaction helps refine the AI. And finally, that leads to operational lock-in, where these platforms become an absolutely essential, can't-live-without-it tool in the daily workflow.
So when you put all of this together, you start to realize we're not just looking at a new tool or a new app. We are witnessing the beginning of a whole new era for private markets.
And probably the easiest way to really grasp the end goal here is with this analogy. It's creating a LinkedIn-style network for private markets. Just think about that. A single, intelligent network for the entire private capital world. A network built not just on people, but on capital, on deals, and on opportunities.
This really captures the key trend we're seeing for 2026 and beyond. It's what people are calling the rise of connected market intelligence. It's this convergence of data, AI-powered reasoning, and network connectivity all coming together in one seamless layer. It's like building a living, breathing map of the entire ecosystem.
Which brings us to our final thought here. For decades, access to capital was controlled by just a handful of human kingmakers. But now it's algorithms and proprietary data that are taking that throne. So the question we're left with is this. As these new AI kingmakers get smarter and more efficient, what kind of currently unimaginable innovations are they finally going to help us unlock?